introduce you to my friend, my beautiful teacher, mentor, Terah, Kathryn Collins. And I have to say, this beautiful woman has been in my life now for over 20 something years.
Let's not age ourselves.
Yeah, we're not counting.
Yay!
And you know, this was one of her first books that she published with Hay House Publishing. And this book landed in my hands back in 1997, I'm going to say, something like that. I consumed it, and it's, you know, it's well worn,
well worn,
and
well loved, well read,
well weathered. And when I got to the back of the book, it said that if you would like to become a student of the Western School of Feng Shui, visit our website. Here's our phone number. And I went, there was, you know, a resonating yes, that's what I'm supposed to do. And I got to go to the Western School of Feng Shui in 1999. And this beautiful person down here, Terah Kathryn Collins, is the founder of the Western School of Feng Shui. And she actually founded that school in 1996. She has gone on to write 6 Feng Shui books, all which are bestsellers, over 1 million copies in sales. And she is just, you're just, you know, anyways, there's so much I can.
How about remarkable?
She is the feng shui goddess, master, dragon energy that we're going to talk about today. Okay. And Cheryl is going to introduce our other guest that just popped in.
Yay. So that is our first dragon. Now we've been promoting and letting you all know that are watching that we were coming on special time today. Reminder that this is going to be longer than our usual 30 minutes. Because with these two lovely ladies, we know we're not going to want to stop the conversation in 30 minutes. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
And of course, you can continue. It'll be on Facebook and it'll be on our YouTube video. But so I'm going to back up a second because my partner, the one in the amazing, fabulous red jacket, is our Feng Shui dragon, the wood Yang dragon for this year that kicks off tomorrow, Chinese New Year. That's what today is. A lot of today is about, mostly about Feng Shui, but all about energy. Terah is a Yang water dragon. So now we've got 2 of the elements out of the 5. Yeah. And Karen, well, I'm not sure if she is yin or yang or what element, but I'm going to introduce Karen first and then she can fill us in. And I'm the one that's departing in that I'm the yin water rabbit that is ending this cycle. But I'm just going to hop on the backs of these girls because dragons fly and I'm going to just enjoy the ride. So Karen authors our yearly Chinese New Year article. And we know we've shared the link before and we'll share it again because her article is very insightful, as they always are. She shares positive opportunities each New Year's energy offers. Amazing. We look forward in high anticipation for Karen's articles. Just saying. Now, Karen is a very popular Feng Shui teacher and a mentor who specializes in teaching the many nuances of qi flow and space clearing in essential Feng Shui practitioner training. And she has come on with us in the past, which is fantastic. Always love her insights. Her inspirational teaching style incorporates her studies in South Africa, Europe, Mexico, and several of the Native American communities. On top of that, Karen holds a BA in Native American Studies and is also a California native plant expert, garden designer, and certified herbalist. with an expansive feng shui practice and includes homes, businesses, and rural properties. Oh my word, there is so much to learn from these two dragons. Well, three dragons. But Karen, please fill us in. Are you yin or yang?
I was born just 1 month before Terah. So we are both young water dragon.
Oh, very
And
cool.
interestingly, we were working together for several years before I really dove into Chinese astrology. And we really connected to that and realized, oh, that's why we're so compatible. So
That's
that's been
exciting.
really fun.
That is fun. Oh, very cool. Well, now we know we've got 2 of the 5 elements, but there's more to learn. So every week when Anita and I go live on Facebook, and we're coming up to year 3, we have a 3rd year anniversary coming up that we've done Facebook Lives every week. We always go to the Feng Shui Personal Paradise card deck by Terah Kathryn Collins to get our topic and theme for today or for the day. And what's interesting about today is we want to bring in the Chinese astrology, the Chinese New Year, and incorporate it into the topic. So I was shuffling the deck earlier. 3 cards have all come out. The first one that came out is the number 47 card, Wealth and Prosperity. The second one that came out is the number 11 card, Water Features. So we have these 2. And I think it's really entertaining that the third card that came out has a red front door. And it's the number 15 card for an entrance. So look at this for our topic and the Chinese New Year. Anita, you're on mute.
I had put on an incense in to clear the space before, and I was like having a little coughing thing because the incense was wafting a little too much. So love those cards that came up because I mean it's perfect because we're talking about the year of the Yang wood dragon. And the dragon, I mean, Karen's going to tell us all about the dragon and Terah. But I mean, the dragon in the Chinese culture represents wealth and prosperity, good luck and good fortune and all of those things. And then here we are in the energy of an 8 year. We always talk about numerology, and the number 8 is the most auspicious number. Again, linked to wealth and prosperity. Hello. So yay. Okay. Which one of you girls want to chime in first and go?
Pick one of us.
Terah, go.
Well, I like to think, of course, I am a dragon, a water dragon, and I am aware of how dragon energy flows through me anyway. And I would say that some of those qualities are being very no nonsense and practical. And I love a study or a practice that is results producing. And I kind of have no time for anything that's not producing results. And I think that's a very dragon-esque kind of, I like it and I don't like it. So that kind of no nonsense clarity. And also that to balance that, all the way from the day I was born, I have been a person that I feel is very mystical and that I believe in magic. So I have the no nonsense practical and the mystical magical that are combined within my being. Would you say that's true for you, Karen, and of course, Anita, the other dragons here today?
Yes.
Yeah, would you say that's true for you too, Anita? There's that really interesting blend because actually I feel that essential feng shui is a beautiful example of a practice that blends practicality, no nonsense, with mystical, magical, creating your reality, bringing the unseen into the scene, doing it, getting it, producing results. That is essential feng shui. So the people who have studied essential feng shui, I always feel that we're kindreds because we're attracted to the same type of work in the world, as I just described. So being a dragon and now going into a dragon year to me is very exciting. I feel very activated, and I have not been activated for about 12 years. So it's I've been doing other things, and having other experiences in life, which has been fabulous.
Mhm.
But now I feel back in the seat, the dragon seat. I have stuff I want to do and stuff I am doing. So the Western School of Feng Shui was founded, as you said, Anita, in 1996, and we still are teaching the Essential Feng Shui Practitioner Certification Training
Awesome.
to all who wish to receive it, either via Anita's live class, which she is doing, when is that, in April, up in Red Deer. We have another woman doing the same live class or similar in California coming up. And then there's a Zoom opportunity and an online opportunity. So I just say to anyone who feels resonant with this kind of work, we're here for you. So, Karen, let me give you the talking stick for a few minutes and let you go with that.
We have an invisible talking stick. It's just going to go, dun, dun, dun.
Okay, great. Got it. Well, I really agree with that sensation, Terah and Anita, that I finally feel, as you said, back in the driver's seat. It's amazing. In yang years, this is a yang year. In Chinese astrology, they go yang, yin, and you get a yang elemental year, this year wood. And then next year we'll have a yin wood year. Then it will go on to fire, earth, etc. It will go around the 5 elements that are a real strong basis of Chinese medicine and human psychology. And so yang years, their energy tends to come in December. I mean, a couple months before the official beginning, which stretched, the official beginning this year stretched from February 4th to tomorrow, to the 10th. And but almost everybody in every place I have encountered, people are so excited about the dragon energy. They just dragged it on in January 1st. It's like, yeah, it's the dragon year. And I thought that was so interesting because the dragon energy, because it's mythological and magical. In Chinese astrology, there are 12 animal signs. The dragon is the only one that is in the ethers, invisible to us. All the other animal signs, we can see them hopping around on the planet. Ms. Rabbit. So it does have a lot of lore behind it, and people this year we will read a lot about dragon energy, and people are getting excited about it. So just that alone is making this a bigger year, and I'm enjoying. I do really feel like, well, it's about time.
And I also am feeling and have been feeling this kind of urgency, or this sense of, maybe like you described it, Terah, this, activation, or this surge of energy. And when I look at that dragon, it's just so beautiful, because it really is very symbolic of feng shui, of what we teach in feng shui, in that the dragon represents that seen and unseen energy, as does feng shui, right? That's the word. The word itself means unseen and seen and unseen energy. And I really am sensing or feeling that this year is going to be a real awakening for a lot of people, that, have been on the earth plane and, only had the view down here, that now they're going to start to see and connect to that other ethers or that other realm. Do you
Yes.
sense that as well, Karen?
Yes, very much so. Awakening is
Mhm.
really the main theme, I think, this year. And some of us have been patiently waiting for more of us to really reach for the higher vibrations that we can manifest here on the earth, bringing heaven to earth. And Feng Shui really does that. Feng Shui is the practice of taking a look at, taking deep looks internally and then looking externally. Where do I see what I would choose to perceive? And how can I bring more harmony and balance to my life? And this year, the awakening aspect will be that we will all see that we are all connected, such that bringing balance and harmony and our preferences for happiness to ourselves brings it more and more to everyone. And everyone will feel that connectivity and be awakened to the fact that we can have a deeper impact on each other and on the world as we hop up onto the dragon's back and sail into the alchemy of what a dragon year does. A dragon year is very transformative. I think, Terah, you were talking about that aspect.
You are reading my mind as usual, Karen. And my heart, you're reading my heart too. In thinking about being with you beautiful ladies today, it occurred to me that we can all step into dragon chi or dragon energy by thinking about the archetypes that are popular in our culture. Obi-Wan Kenobi comes to mind, Princess Leia, Gandalf, who was Galadriel in Lord of the Rings. These archetypal beings, we can study them by watching one. Those are two archetypes per movie from the Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. These people or these beings are archetypal of the dragon energy. And so I came up with a few affirmations I'd like to share that I feel will help us all ground into dragon energy. So, the force is with me. I claim my magic. I embrace my power. I express my creativity. I am strong and make bold moves. And my heart is filled with goodness. And from Karen's article, I took a couple of her incredible lines, and here they are. I step boldly into my own unique power and expand my good fortune. And I speak my truth.
Those are brilliant, and we will get them and we'll put them into the chat so everyone has the opportunity to gather them. As you were speaking, Terah, excuse me, something just popped into my head that I wanted to share, that oftentimes people will think, well, it's the dragon people year, it's not my year, so whatever. But that's not true. We can take those aspects and let them inspire us and step into any energy we want. It just is more magnified when it is your year. Am I correct, ladies?
Yes. Yeah. You know, the fun that I have looking at Chinese astrology is that it is so based on human psychology. And there are 12 signs, and then they repeat with different elements. So every 60 years we have, this is the last wood dragon year was 1964. And because, and the idea is, if you study it and you get into it, or just if you come across it in your life, there's a progression through 12 aspects of personality. And it starts with the rat year, which is very much like root chakra energy, getting it together for home and family, getting secure, procuring what is needed for survival. And then it moves into the ox year, and then it moves on. And it doesn't matter who you are, what your sign is, the energetics of the year will offer you the gift of ratness, oxness, dragonness. This year, you get a chance, because the energy will cause you to look more closely at your home or your finances. This year, you're going to be encouraged to retreat and be quiet and really get to know your inner self. Another year, we would be being encouraged to just relax and have lots of fun with friends and cultivate our friend circle. So when you progress through all 12 signs, you get a full blend of happy life on earth. And so each year we get gifted, as I said, this chance to touch into the energy. We can always retreat from it, but when we touch into it, we will feel the pace of it. And a dragon year has a pace that is very firmly forward. It's, you know, it's going, if you step into it and you have the wherewithal and the confidence, and you have set aside a few dreams in your vision boards this year, you can progress on them rapidly in a year like this.
Oh, yay. Speaking of vision boards, we're actually doing a vision board workshop tomorrow, live.
Yes, perfect timing. Perfect
So
timing.
and how auspicious we're doing it, you know, on Chinese New Year. So we are going to manifest some really cool things. And of course, there's still room if anybody in the area wants to join us. I'll put the link in the comments a little bit later too, as well. Let's go back to our card deck. And I want to just ask these lovely ladies, you know, what have you done in preparation for this beautiful Chinese New Year in the way of your front entrance? Because the front entrance card came up. And we know, you know, maybe you can tell our audience a little bit about, you know, where the you know, what the Chinese culture, what they do in their culture, and how that ties into our Western culture, and how we can implement some of these beautiful practices to bring that beautiful dragon energy in.
Terah.
Terah, go.
Well, so you know, this thing that a lot of us do in this country called Christmas decorations. I now call those winter decorations and New Year's decorations. So all of those decorations are still in my house, except I've now layered them. So I will take a picture of the wreath that I have on my front door that is celebrating the year of the wood dragon coming on in. And you can share that if you'd like. I also have hung other very Asian looking bright red tassel decorations that just make me happy. I would live with them all year long. They're beautiful. So a couple pictures coming your way. And I know that the new year, the Asian or the Chinese New Year, is one of the most important holidays for that entire part of the world. And many of them, of course, do not celebrate Christmas. That Christmas is for many just another normal day, you know, average, ordinary day. But New Year's is just crazy making. I mean, you know, the fireworks, the special foods, actually really fun to hop online and see. I did this because I am having a New Year's party tomorrow, and I wanted to know what kind of food they classically or traditionally enjoyed. And it's like everything. Basically, it's everything. It's noodles, it's fruit, it's fish, it's poultry, it's all kinds of vegetables. I mean, it's just feast. They feast, and they have a tradition that I just became aware of, that in certain places they throw food straight up into the air, and the person who can throw the food the highest is the one that's going to have the most good luck of the year. And I'm thinking, I am not going to share that with these people that are coming to party in my house.
You'll be
I am
cleaning.
sorry. That is an outdoor activity.
Oh.
So how about you, Care?
Well, at my red door entrance, I just planted yesterday a couple of pots of pretty little primroses because they're just gorgeous this time of
Oh,
year. And so I freshened up my front door entry with that. And I just received the day before the gift from my son, who has a pond. I have a pond. We are very into frogs. And he brought over a whole container of frog eggs and tadpoles from his area. They're the Pacific tree frog. And I have a big barrel that I have food for them, the plants that they eat, which I stock with fresh tadpoles every year. And so I just received fresh tadpoles outside, and I've enhanced with flowers outside, and I'm welcoming in the spring here in the Pacific Northwest. My daffodils are up, and so I'm feeling that wood energy particularly this year. And in terms of, parties, etc., tomorrow I have a group of friends coming over, and we are going to do each other's Chinese astrology and make and state our intentions and our vision for the year. And then we'll have some tea and ingest those intentions and support each other in what we want to accomplish this year.
Ooh,
Oh.
wow. So look at us all.
So
doing
water feature,
something special.
I just covered that.
Exactly. That was my side. Okay, we already went from front entrance into the water feature card so smoothly, like
Oh.
glass.
Speaking of glass, I just hung a beautiful mirror in my office where my career area in the Bagua map of this room was completely empty. And I was compelled a month ago to put a mirror there to enlarge the room. It's opposite the window in the room. So now I've doubled the window space, and I can just feel that it is feeding me. It's nurturing me with the energy that it brings into the room. So that's my water feature, and that's included. That's part of the water element. We can use mirrors to really activate the water element, and that is what's associated with career. So I'm very happy with all this.
I find it interesting, the shifts that have started already prior to us having the conversation, because before we came online, we were talking about this card deck and getting it back into production. Now Terah shares with us this opportunity that, okay, her career, let's get that baby flowing because it's been 12 years. All right, time.
Oh yeah. Who
Full
knows
circle.
what can happen next?
Exactly. Anita, what about you? What about your front entrance and any preparations that you have made?
Me?
Yeah.
You know what? We had snow on our front entrance yesterday.
And this morning.
Actually, I have these artificial flowers that I was actually going to put in I have these pots that I keep out in front of the deck. And I was going to do that yesterday, but then it wasn't very nice. And I'm going to do that today. So I'm going to put some artificial flowers. I'm going to plant them in my pots, and the snow is going to be beautiful, and that's just going to bring some chi. And again, when we talk about the front entrance, the reason we want to enhance that front entrance is to invite that chi, that energy in. And I always, say that as someone is driving past your house, if they can, it's like putting the red dress on a woman, if a guy sees a red dress on a woman walking down the street, he slams on the brakes and takes a look. It's that kind of thing. We want people, not to slam on the brakes, but we want them to draw their attention, because in doing so, then what they're actually going, oh, that's nice. And or they might not even say it, but they'll think it. And so that good vibe, that good energy is now, it's now stuck to your door. It's now stuck to your entrance. So then it's going to just come in the next time somebody opens the door. So that really is, it's so important to do that. You want to be able to invite that good chi in.
Well, and you talked about the snow, which is a water as well. So even
Yeah.
though Karen has got primroses planted, and I'm very happy for you, probably for me, but very happy for you, Karen. We have the snow, and it something Anita shared with me a while ago is we can take that fresh snow and we can allow it to melt in our homes. And even though we can't be outside, we can certainly wash down the front door and the trim and the walls and invite in that water. With that water, invite in that beautiful chi. And I saw Karen put her. So go, Karen.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, the red door, or enhancing our front entrance, and indeed continuing around the home to enhance the spots, especially spots that you see out your window. In any season, when we take the time to create a little bit of beauty somewhere in our domain, and other passersby see it, guests see that, it's like we have shared a favorite phrase I have from Terah, recent discoveries, an island of beauty, a sanctuary. When we work with Feng Shui in our world, we are creating these moments of rest, relief, beauty, a higher vibration. And this ripples out. It's like I've thrown my little pebble of a couple of primroses by the front door. I've thrown that out and offered it, and it ripples out. Someone goes by and says, oh, spring is coming. Oh, I love that pink. I have a pink sweater. Maybe I'll wear it. I mean, who knows what the impact will be, but we do know it will be profound, because it will be personal and it will be achievable, because what we do with essential feng shui is very achievable, very simple things that we do to call in and display that peace and tranquility, balance, and harmony that feng shui looks for, and that we all, need to breathe in our world now.
Beautiful, beautiful, cool. So I would love for us, first, Anita, is there any comments or questions in the Facebook chat that we want to
I mean,
address?
there's some, comments. Of course, everybody's loving this and eating it up, and commenting about their front entrances and things like that. And I would like to open it up to questions for them, but not quite yet.
Okay, but people that are on Facebook that are watching the live can certainly put their questions into the comments, and then we'll come back to them. Perfect, perfect. So let's ladies, we've covered the front entrance. We've covered a little bit about water features. So let's move into the wealth and prosperity areas, and how all of this, of course, ties perfectly together. As you know, it was said earlier, we can't make it up. So let's go back to Terah and how bring it all into this beautiful arrangement that you so eloquently do.
Thank you, Cheryl. So the wealth and prosperity area, when we're talking about the Bagua map, is pretty easy for most people to find, even if you haven't spent a lot of time with this topic before. Just go to the back left-hand area of your house. And in most cases, and you have two experts that are here every Friday to help you with this, that will be known as your wealth and prosperity area, which means it's classically seen as where the energy of good fortune and prosperity, wealth, etc., gathers, pools, and nurtures you and your family. So there's a lot of things to do to enhance that. We can, and certainly it's interesting. I'm just thinking my dining room is in my wealth and prosperity, and I am going to have a lot of people in there tomorrow helping to feed and nurture that space in my house. So it's related to the colors of red and purple and blue, and just to whatever makes you feel prosperous. So I love, and I think all of us here on the call, we love when people personalize their enhancement work. And so if it is an antique bowl from your great grandmother that is crystal and makes your heart sing every time, that is a perfect wealth enhancement to display in that area, or actually anywhere in the house, because it will always lift your spirits, make you think good thoughts, feel the legacy of your own ancestry. All of that, it connects you. And that's what environmental enhancements do, is they're constantly connecting us to what we love, what uplifts us, what makes us feel the best we can possibly feel. So I will turn it over to Karen.
Wealth and prosperity. They talk about that a lot as coming this year in the dragon year, because dragon energy is expansive, and it seeks opportunity to grow. Especially wood dragon energy wants to grow, expand, explore new horizons. Sometimes our wealth can get a little bit stuck, and we've been raised with certain expectations about this is how much our family had when you were born into it, and what you do with that we will see. But we can have limitations on how much wealth we're able to receive and hold. And so for me, with an expansive year like this, taking a look at your wealth areas and just your attitudes, your inner attitudes about wealth, and seeing if we can stretch out a little further into the concept of prosperity, which resides, of course, in having good health, a wonderful supportive circle of friends and or chosen family, and the necessary things we need to express our true selves. And so those are what prosperity really means. And of course, happiness comes along with that. So I encourage us all to look, kind of everywhere in your environment and see, where have I put sort of a false limitation on something? I'm just thinking about my wealth area, which happens to be in my garage. And I've hung a large crystal, round circular glass crystal in that space to uplift the energy. And in the main wealth area of that, I have just an impeccably organized set of supplies, food. We always have food in case of emergency, all the tools to make things that I want to do. I've just recently been putting more craft items out there because that's an area I want to expand into. And then I look around at the wealth areas in each room and make sure that anything that is out of repair or dingy or old or doesn't have a really inspiring memory attached to it, those are the things I did let go last year. And I think I still have a little more to look at. But for me, that wealth and prosperity is this year about being able to stretch and expand my ability to receive good fortune.
I absolutely love that, Karen, because you touched on so many aspects, including the fact that in your home, the wealth and prosperity is in your garage, because it doesn't always fall into the walls inside our homes based on the Bagua, which we talk about quite often in here. And of course, we teach in our classes. But you also talked about, and it really was profound for me, if it brings up a less than inspiring emotion. If anything in your home is bringing up a less than inspiring emotion, if it's bringing up sorrow, if it's bringing up grief, it's an opportunity to look at that and shift that energy. But more importantly, Anita and I are right in the middle of our 21-day decluttering program again. You address something that we tell people all the time. We're on a journey and we're actually never done decluttering. We're never done looking at our possessions and making decisions because our lives keep changing and keep flowing. So, Anita, I'd like for you to start off on this conversation, and then we'll go around the circle again. About the shifts in energy and what happens to people when they start looking at their possessions and the emotions behind them. Because emotions are that water energy. And we talked about water features, and all of it flows into the wealth and prosperity. So, Anita, if you'd like to start this next conversation off on our possessions.
You know, I love what, of course, both of these beautiful goddess master dragoness energies commented. And, you know, Karen, when you said stretch and expand your ability, you know, how can you stretch and expand that for that prosperous new year? And it does come down to our possessions because, you know, when you said something about, you know, what in your inner world do you need to expand and stretch and how you think about prosperity? Well, that is being anchored and reaffirmed by the possessions that you hold on to. And when we're holding on to things, we're sending a signal to the universe that, you know what, I got to hold on to it because I might need it someday. I got to hold on to it because there might not be enough. And in fact, Feng Shui teaches us, as does this beautiful cyclical energy that we're witnessing in the Chinese astrology and with the 5-element theory, you know, everything flows beautifully in this cyclical energy. And we need to put our possessions in there as well and just let them flow out into the world and bless somebody else's life. And then we can bring something new, and then we can, you know, just keep on having this beautiful flow of energy come and go into our life. And it is time to maybe look at things differently through our feng shui eyes and say, if this is no longer serving me, how can it be, you know, can I put it out into the world and it can bless somebody else's life? So yeah, we want to invite you all to do that on this beautiful, auspicious Chinese New Year, to really start to look at those things that you surround yourself with and say, how does that serve me? Yes, of course. Go, Terah, go.
You are so reminding me of the classic statement we love to share, which is everything is talking to us all the time. Pay attention to what it's saying. If it is, as Cheryl just said, less than inspiring, that's a really important message to take to heart. Why am I living with something that brings up a miserable memory? Why would I do that? Now, that could be a very important question. I do it because I'm not feeling as secure as I would like to feel. How could I feel more secure? Well, what object, what phrase, what affirmation, what book makes you feel more secure? You are then doing your own beautiful work, bringing into your environment the things that hold in place who you are and who you wish to be, who you will, what are you aspiring toward? What is pulling you? Maybe you're not there yet, but what are the objects and the phrases, etc., that hold in place those aspirations? So having the conversation is important. I just had one. My husband had this set of a bowl, on a footed bowl, and two candlestick holders, and they're very fancy. Okay. And so we don't like, they marble and kind of this gold metal, but what they had around each one of them were cut glass crystals hanging. So I have had these in my possession for 30 years, and every time I go to another house, they get put up on a high shelf. So of course I'm doing all this work like we always are, and I look at them and I go, why am I keeping these? And immediately, you're keeping them for the crystals. You could care less about the rest of this stuff. So I took all the crystals off. That was like 26 crystals. I mean, cool, right? Like a whole dragon treasure. 26 new crystals. And I hung them on these beautiful Tiffany lamps that are also came in from my husband's family, and completely uplifted the room with them. Meanwhile, even without the crystals, these other pieces are pretty spectacular. I'm taking them to the Humane Society. They'll be sold in the, in the name of care for animals. So I'm like, so I'm giddy about this. Like, I saw it finally. It wasn't the whole thing, it was a part of the thing. So think about all this, right? This is a lot of food for thought.
I love that. I love that. And you've done similar things with cabinetry and doors. And
Yes.
you've moved so much when you've realized that, why am I hanging on to this? I'm hanging on to this big thing for this one little piece.
That's it. And that's so great that you remember about the cabinet doors, because I had went through a very similar process. Why am I keeping this huge thing? It's for those doors. Same story, Cheryl. Thank you.
Very cool. I like it. So,
Mhm.
Karen, let's continue this flow of conversation, because what it's doing is it's giving the viewers and the watchers some ideas, some new awarenesses for them to re-examine their possessions.
Yeah. Where would you like to go with it?
Wherever you're feeling inspired to go with it.
Well, I was wondering actually if any of your viewers were wanting to hear their astrology
Well,
with
and,
this
and that's
year.
what I was going to pop in there, because I
Perfect.
know that Karen, has, it's an interest, and she has some great insight into that Chinese astrology and what it means for, if you're not a dragon, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
so what, my partner over here, she's a rabbit. So what could she expect from this young wood dragon year? I
Yeah,
bet Karen
right.
has some insight.
So the rabbit year, and I know you were going to post an index for
Yep,
people
I'm
to
gonna
find
post the
what
link
their
right now.
astrology might be. And I might just mention about Chinese astrology. I never was an astrologer, and Western astrology fascinated me. I didn't become skilled in it. I just took notice of it. But I've learned that the Western astrology can often be how other people experience our energy.
Mm.
And Eastern astrology can be how we ourselves experience our own personality and identity within our own selves.
Mm.
And so sometimes there's a real disconnect. I happen to be, we all have several signs in Western astrology, depending on, you know, there's a whole zodiac in Western astrology. You have your planets in different places, etc., because it goes by the stars. But grew up thinking I was a Virgo, and not really caring for the critique and the analytical aspects, and just feeling internally like I just was this other self. And so but I, you know, sort of limited myself, thinking, oh, well, you know, this is what Virgos do. And then I discovered I have an internal sensation of being a dragon. And difficult for a Virgo to show the dragon side without feeling like you're overstepping and, you know, claiming more space than you deserve. And so that was a revelation for me. So I like to really have people just consider exploring for fun their Chinese astrology, their lunar astrology. Western astrology is solar, and Eastern astrology is lunar. And so it affects our emotions quite a bit, our psyche quite a bit. So that's just a little blurb about why you might be interested in it. And now for the rabbit. The rabbit is, you know, we just had the rabbit year, and that was really a great year for getting ourselves really understanding what we like and what we don't like, because the rabbit will move very swiftly, intelligently, brilliantly towards what is safe, what works, what is interesting to the rabbit, and can do it in such a charming way that it's not intrusive. And so the year was kind of it was a mixed bag kind of year, but it was generally, in general, the energy kind of flowed sort of gently, even though there may have been shocks. But this year, there's going to be shocks. And so this year can be a turning point for the rabbit. And I just made a few notes. I'm going to read it here. Turning point for the rabbit in projects that they have dreamed of accomplishing. With the rabbit's highly developed intuition that knows where the harmony in any situation lies, you, rabbit, you can hop right onto the humanitarian dragon's back and follow its lead. Important contacts for the future will be easy to make for you this year. Seeds planted this year and last year will flourish in the years ahead. It's a very fertile year to plant some new endeavors. And home life and career will remain steady and productive without a lot of disruptive drama for the rabbit. It's kind of a benign, smooth ride this year, and any challenges that come up will be easily handled because of the way your energy blends with the dragon's flow.
Yay, that's
Ooh,
awesome.
love
I like it.
that,
See,
'cause
I knew there
that's
was
my
something about
partner.
hopping on the
She
back of
can
my
hop
dragon.
on, let's go for a ride. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. We have let's see, what do we have in here? We have a horse joining us live. We have an ox, a goat, and another dragon. So let's if we have time.
Okay, so for the horse energy is rapid, as is the dragon. So the year's energy will feel fairly normal, and in fact a little bit speeded up, which at first, in the beginning of the year, a horse personality can really be excited about that. And the horse might take on too many projects or too much responsibility at work. So for the horse this year, it's going to feel harmonious in terms of the pace. And it would behoove you to really take care of your health this year, and be sure that you're using your intuition and your focus to just get involved in what you really, really want to get involved in, even though there's going to be quite a potpourri of directions you could run in. You might end up just running yourself ragged. So take time out. Nice year for a vacation or a retreat time that you schedule ahead of time, maybe in a few, every 3 months, be sure you've scheduled a weekend retreat time for yourself to just regroup and, go back to the corral and eat some nutritious oats and rest, because you might get a little overextended this year. But it's a fortunate year in that you're very compatible with the energy.
Mm, love it.
Love it.
Okay, do we have time for a couple more? We've got an ox, a goat, and a rooster.
Okay, the ox is fortunate this year also. The ox prefers a quiet, steady pace. The dragon is not that. There's upset in a dragon year. There's leaps and twists and turns, and that's for the ox. Just rest assured that's going to be going on outside of you, and you will be protected and safe in the benevolent energy of the dragon year. The dragon is all about benevolence. Let's see, where is my ox paper? Here it is. The dragon energy will enliven and invigorate you this year. It will bring some new friends. The ox tends to have a very secure and dependable circle of friends, not huge. And but let some new friends in, because these may be friends or colleagues that will advance your wishes this year. So you're going to get some support from a more intimate circle, and let the outer chaos just be doing its thing. Let's see. So we also had, the ox can also depend on the fact that the shifting that is going to go on in a dragon year is always going to end up being fair and just. And that fits for all the signs that get disturbed by rapid change. The rapid change will be there, and you will come out in the end okay, because it's always for the highest good for all concerned in this type of year. And I think you mentioned there's a goat.
A goat and a rooster.
Oh, and a rooster. Oh my goodness.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Great year for the rooster. The rooster is really happy to have the dragon take care of everybody outside of the corral and the barnyard, because the rooster is all about taking care of friends and family that are within the rooster's territory. And often in some years, the rooster has to stand on the fence and look out for the wolf or the fox, or, just keep the safe boundary. But this year, the dragon will do that for you. So the rooster can just, kind of flourish, bring forward your passions and act on them, because your hypervigilance doesn't have to be there as much this year. And let's see, what else do we have? The goat and is the sheep year, right? The sheep year is a little complicated in that the sheep is sort of a herd animal, and prefers a quieter life, a life filled with beauty. So the sheep can depend on the fact that the dragon years drag up both the good and the very ugly. For a sheep, don't let your focus be disturbed by the ugly, and continue to cultivate beauty in your own life the way that you usually do. Probably nice year for, again, another advice for a vacation that's in a really favorite spot, or be sure to take, once a month, take a weekend to take a picnic to the woods or the ocean or the lake or wherever you find beauty in your world. And great year for Feng Shui for the sheep within your environment. Beautify it as much as you desire this year, because that will cozy in what could be looking disruptive. Because remember, everybody's going through the dragon year. All the animals are going through the dragon year, and every personality is going to be reacting to it strongly. And so we don't want any of us to be swept off our feet a little too much. So great year to remember, what are my priorities? What's my, what's my focus? And then take advantage of it once you've grasped that. And for dragons, it's a rapid year of big energy for the dragons. And the advice, since it's like double dragon and wood, grow, the advice can be take the quick shifts of dragon flight in stride by continuing to practice all the ways that you usually bring balance to your life. The wood dragon brings bursts of creativity and inspiration, which fellow dragons can revel in. It's a year to make your most lofty dreams a reality. Dive deeply and soar mightily this year with confidence, tempered by the pace that you prefer to remain healthy and balanced. So just, take that time to stay grounded. And everybody else will be impacted this year by the energies that we dragons, we've always lived with that, So to us, it's like, well, this is, like we said at the beginning, this is about time. Okay, now things are falling into place like they should, like we dragons know they should. And but we can realize that many other personalities and energies this is new for them. This is fresh for them. And so we can have that role of leadership, living by example. So the more we inspire ourselves to live with beauty and what we love, and to have compassion for our connections in the world, the more we do that, we can really be seen as examples of how to weather this year.
Beautiful. Wow.
I'm
Wow,
thinking
wow,
everybody
wow.
would like to stay here for an hour longer, but I know we've already been here for an hour.
Yes.
And I want to invite everyone that's listening now, hashtag live. And if you are watching the replay, hashtag replay, and share this out with your friends. There's some really good, juicy information here. And of course, I mean, it's not every day you have 3 dragons and a rabbit. And not to mention 2 feng shui masters
3.
join us with this wealth of information. Beautiful Terah Kathryn Collins, my mentor, teacher, friend, author extraordinaire, wisdom, just exuding everywhere. It's always just such a immense pleasure to spend time with you in your space. And Karen, I mean, you have just grown in our hearts over the last few years as we've gotten to know and love you. And the article that you wrote, I'm putting a link in the comments. That's going to direct everybody over to the Western School of Feng Shui website, where you can find out more about Terah. You can purchase some of her books if you want. You can read the article. You can find out about essential feng shui, how to, maybe you want to be a certified essential feng shui practitioner yourself. I don't know. Who knows what this dragon energy year is going to call out. So that's it for me. I'm going to zip it, and then my partner, and then I'll let you all follow up, and we're good to go.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And from the bottom of my heart, from the middle of my heart, from the top of my heart, my gratitude to you, 2 incredible goddesses, to all of you watching, because Anita and I, we can do this all the time. We get to enjoy each other's company all the time, but we don't get to tap into the wisdom of these 2 incredibly talented women. And they are wisdom keepers, but they're also wisdom sharers. And it all starts with those of you watching us and sharing this out, as Anita mentioned. Thank you for everybody. What was discussed today was way more than the spectrum of front entrances, water features, and wealth and prosperity. It was way more than all of that. It was about the wisdom and the flow of the energy that is kickstarted already. I've seen it in my young wood dragon partner, and it did start back in December, just saying. She has gone nonstop. And the cautionary that Karen summarized at the end is finding that balance. Because you can also go so hard that you lose your voice because you're roaring a lot of fire energy too. Anyway, my greatest appreciation for you ladies. For those of you watching, Terah, how would you love to summarize and wrap up for yourself?
Well, first of all, to wish everybody a magnificent, transformational year as we enter into this dragon chi that we've been exploring together today. I want to thank you two goddesses, you two masters. That word is a word that belongs to us all. We're all masters of something. And you two are most definitely masters of feng shui, of entertainment, of laughter, joy, sweet, beautiful energy. And I appreciate you both so much. Thank you for having me join you today, and Happy New Year.
Hmm,
Thank you.
thank you.
Karen.
Yes, the same from me. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy expanding into love and beauty. And thank you so much. I agree. Cheryl and Anita, you are so wonderful and powerful in the sharing that you do, empowering people to find their way and to bring beauty and higher vibrational energy into their lives. So this has been really fun being here, and thanks so much for the opportunity.
And in the words of Louise Hay, may you be blessed and prosper. To all of our beautiful sisters, big hugs. Love you all. And Facebook land, we'll see you next week.